Hello, this is Kathryn and I'm painting a picture of my American miniature. I'm just blanking it in very quickly. And I'm using raw umber and turpentine, just measuring up the length of her nose against the width from her neck to her front of her face. There's a picture of her. And I'm filling in now. She's got a thick mane, so I'm using a little bit of yellow ochre in with titanium white for her mane. And she's quite blonde round her face, round her muzzle, and then her muzzle is black. I'm mixing up at the moment some shadow, and I'm using burnt umber and French ultramarine blue mixed together with a little bit of the medium, and it's a medium that I bought off the shelf, an oil painting medium, which is odourless. I'm putting in the shadow under her chin and under her mane. We're doing a painting on a flat surface and we want to make it look 3D, and the only way we can do this is by light and shade. So just checking my measurements before I put her eye in. This is very rough at this stage. It's just literally getting everything in place. So anything can be moved. Can't always guarantee it's going to be exactly right first time. But once you start working on it, you can manipulate the lines. I'm using a ready stretched canvas, and it's a linen canvas. I think it's 20 by 16, that's inches. When I'm painting, I use separate brushes for darks and lights. So I keep my light brushes just for lights and white, and my dark brushes just for darks. I clean them very well after use, and I clean them immediately I've finished my painting, or finished painting. Some of my brushes I've had for 20 years, and if you look after them they last a long time. I start off usually with hog brushes, and then I move on to sable brushes, and I have quite an array of sizes. Her little black muzzle. I'm not using black, I'm still using that mixture of blue and burnt umber. This little horse stands at 34 inches tall. She's very tiny. Sometimes it's more difficult doing the little ones because they haven't got so many features, you know. When you do the horses, they have bigger bones in their face. Sorry, I have allowed it to dry actually, and I've come back, and therefore what I do after it's nearly dry, just rub it back a little bit so the lines aren't so hard and definite. I do that with the dry paintbrush, just blend it slightly. And then it's ready to put on more colour, because she is actually quite pale. She's a chestnut really, but they call her a silver bay because she's got a very pale mane. And she has got lots of colours in her mane, but on top it seems to just be this creamy colour where the sun catches it. Trying to get a bit round her nose where the cream colour blends into the more chestnut colour. I think I used yellow ochre and some burnt umber and maybe a bit of raw umber to get her colouring. It's a fairly limited palette. I usually try and have sort of five or six major colours that I use and mix from those. I'm putting in the sky. It's just a case of blocking it in. I'm using a big hog brush to do this. I fiddle around with the skies quite a lot and sometimes change them. It's just trial and error. The same things applies, you know, just gradually work into it and keep your brushes as clean as you can. Once the background's in, you can sort of see your outline better. So it's a good thing to do it early on in this painting. A little bit more on her nose. I just work backwards and forwards with the colours until I'm satisfied, blending them into each other so that I've got to this stage now. So I've lost the middle bit because my camera went flat, I'm afraid, but it was more or less the same. So it just speeds it up a little bit as well. So just making the darks darker and the lights lighter, so it's got a bit more definition. And putting the bridle on. And I am probably going to change the background again, so I will do that. It's just a bit too much samey all over. I usually try to make the background have the colours that I'm using, so I sometimes put a little bit of the pale blue I've mixed into the painting, so maybe some of the lights, just so it unifies the painting. And that's the finished painting. So please like and enjoy painting.